Welcome everyone. Have a great Friday. It is 15 UTC. That means we got another AMA with a CryptoGirlfriend NFT. So at first, I would love to welcome the team and truly thank you for finding the time to opt into Tayarra Hub. Well, guys, let's introduce, drop your roles in the project so we know with whom we are talking.
Hi, everyone. I mean, I think it's mainly just me here on the voice chat
All right.
today. So I'm Crypto Girlfriend. My real name is Juliet Starr, but I'm known in the crypto world as Crypto Girlfriend, and I've been around crypto since about 2017, and actually got onto yield farming on BSC back in December of 2020. And from there, I was basically a crypto influencer, primarily focusing on B&B projects and doing videos and tweets and all kinds of stuff, teaching people about crypto and yield farming and all the different projects on BSC. And that's kind of like from there, I wanted to evolve my crypto influencer persona into something more. And that's kind of how this all began.
Great. Well, if we are talking about the beginning, so like who had the initial idea and how did you start the project? Like what was the original idea behind?
Yeah, I think somebody in the chat earlier was like talking about how did you even come up with this name? and there is a whole story behind it. So in my regular life, I've been a DJ, primarily a trance house progressive DJ, play a little drum and bass. So I had one of my friends was involved in another project on Ethereum called ApeCoin, and this was back in 2020, and they actually were designing a special series of NFTs. There were just a few of them available called CryptoGirlfriends, and they asked me if they could design one after me, like real life me, DJ me. And so they actually did. They created a DJ crypto girlfriend. I'm actually going to post a copy of what they designed in the chat so people can see the original one they designed after real life me. And then from there, I was helping some friends who were launching tokens on Ethereum to do promotions of their tokens. So I decided to create a crypto Twitter account. And when I created it, I was like, well, let me just use this name, Crypto Girlfriend. It was kind of different and catchy. And, the whole idea with the Crypto Girlfriends with their project was, in a bull market, everyone gets a girlfriend. So that's kind of where the whole name came about to begin with. And then I just started using it on Twitter. And then I got onto BSC and started doing the yield farming on BSC. And like I said, promoting all the projects on BSC so much that I was promoting the projects on BSC that CZ started following me back in January of 2021.
That's awesome. Like if we are talking about the experience, like I'm intrigued hearing the DJ stuff, the full experience behind. So is this your first crypto project? And I guess no. So if you could drop a bit of knowledge about like where did you start it and what's been the experience so far? I know it's a cliche, but a lot of the times the community around asking about like what was the past project experience and performance. So if you could just shed a light on that.
Well, I started, like I mentioned, in 2017. I started into crypto. I started buying some Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin. Actually bought Chainlink back then in 2017 when it was 11 cents. So that was pretty cool. but just kind of got into a little bit before that. Before that, I had friends that were mining Bitcoin years before that, and I was always interested in it. I've always been really interested in technology. I grew up studying computer networking and making websites and all kinds of techie stuff. And then that kind of like naturally made me go into my love of the trance music. And eventually I became a DJ and wanted to,
Wow.
do the DJing at parties. I've played at lots of parties across America and Miami and Vegas and California and San Diego, LA. So it's all kind of art, music. I love art. I love music. I love artwork. I also love anime, and I've been to Comic Con. I've been to Comic Con before, so it kind of all goes hand in hand. Like things that I like doing, things that I really like, and then once I got into the crypto more, I kind of got away from crypto for a little bit after 2018. And then in March of 2020, when COVID started, and I saw Bitcoin drop down to like $3,500, and I wasn't paying attention, or else I would have scooped up the whole Bitcoin at that time. But after that, I started paying attention and been full time like paying attention to crypto ever since. Started learning more about trading and rebase tokens. And then I had a group of friends that were launching tokens. So I started learning with them how to launch shit coins on Ethereum, how to do yield farming on Ethereum. And so it kind of all evolved. I have a really extensive background in yield farming, and started out with jet fuel on BSC and the Thugs platform. So I've used most of the yield farms on BSC, and from there, I wanted to, like I said, evolve that crypto girlfriend character that I created into like a superhero almost, like, since I like the comic books and everything. So kind
Yeah,
of how the
I mean,
idea was born.
I mean, you could have noticed that like our graphics are into anime as well, right? So we are kind of the team that loves gaming and all the stuff around. So I might ask like, what or which anime especially you like the most?
Well, I used to watch Dragon Ball Z a lot
Ah,
when I was younger, so that one was one that I always used to watch and like a lot. It was funny because my son plays Bakugan, and he was home with me yesterday, and I turned on the TV and they have like a Bakugan anime TV show. I'm like, oh, this is cool. Let's watch this.
right, right. Um, I
And
mean,
someone says, "Oh, she likes trance." I don't just like trance. I'm a trance DJ. I know most of the trance artists, like some of them personally.
trends, but you mentioned like DNB, and I know like since like sometime we are streaming the music on the chat, right? In the voice chat, and like our community is especially into DNB, which is kind of like crazy, but all good, all good. I
Yeah, well,
mean,
I just moved, so once I get set up everything again, I'll set up my DJ equipment, and I've done some streaming on Twitch where I do marbles on Steam, and I'm giving away NFTs while I'm DJing, so it's fun.
right, right. Um, let's get into the NFTs. So at first, I mean, could you introduce like the idea behind the NFTs? Like what's the art behind, especially? Like what's been the inspiration to create such NFTs? Then we'll move to like this supply utility. But let's get the background story, right?
Yeah, so I mean, we kind of already went over how the whole name and everything came about. So from there, I wanted to, like I said, I wanted to evolve the Crypto Girlfriend character into like an actual character. And I've always liked comic books, superheroes, I'm into Marvel, all of that stuff. So I wanted to actually create a comic book NFT was the very first idea. And so I wanted to make, Crypto Girlfriend be this superhero that, fought bad guys and, all, through crypto related comic book. So
Hmm.
that was the very first idea that I wanted to do. And so from there, we're like, okay, how can we do this? And we're like, okay, let's create an NFT to help, fund some of this and raise money and
Yeah.
and do all of that. So we, since I like the anime style, we found an artist that created the girlfriends for us in anime style with a lot of different hairstyles, backgrounds, different clothes, different
Hmm.
accessories. They've got the Bitcoin glasses and Bitcoin necklaces and Bitcoin tattoos, and I'm a
Cool,
big
cool.
Bitcoin fan. Um, so we kind of created the NFT was the first step, and we decided to originally we are going to launch on Ethereum since that's where everybody is, but since my heart is always with BSC and BNB chain, I decided to
Yeah.
launch on BNB, which I knew would be harder because there's not
Hmm.
as huge of a NFT collection, collectors on BNB chain. You go to these NFT conferences and people are like, "There's NFTs on BNB." They don't even know.
Right, right. Um,
It's so yeah. It's definitely, we decided to launch on BSC, and um, I use the number 69 a lot. I tell everybody I'm 69 years old, and
ah.
so we we did 6969 was the number we did
Spicy.
for the collection. Spicy.
Right. Um, I mean, if you are talking about these NFTs, to be sure the community understands well and the listeners too. Like, where can we get them? Like, on which marketplace? What currency we need to purchase, and what's the price?
So you can get them on the BNB chain. So you have to connect
Hmm.
to BNB through MetaMask or Trust Wallet or something like that. You can still mint some right now on our website at cryptogirlfriend.art for point 0.2 BNB. And we have a few marketplaces, but we actually developed all of our own marketplace, which is a huge development task. And so this project's been evolving over time. Originally, like I said, I was only going to do a comic book. And then after a while, we decided to develop a marketplace. So we've actually developed our own marketplace called collectioncapital.com, which has more than just our NFTs on it.
Right.
It has all kinds of B&B NFTs on it, and it has very low fees, only 2% transaction fees. And then the projects set their own royalty fees, that whatever they want to receive for sales. And so the beauty of it is having our own marketplace, our Crypto Girlfriend NFT holders get a share of the fees from the marketplace of that 2% in BNB. So
Hmm.
paid
Right.
randomly
So
out.
like if I'm holding the crypto girlfriend NFT, then I'm getting the cut of the fees, right? Just to
Yes. Hmm.
okay, okay. Uh, how much NFTs being minted yet?
How many are we at? Let's see. I haven't checked lately. I think it was over 1,200 NFTs.
Wow, not bad
So,
for such a market. And like, when did the first collection drop?
I believe we started around February was when we started
Uh-huh.
this process, and it's like I said, it's a harder on BNB for sure. And I think most of the BNB NFTs are doing almost free. It seems like for their launch price, for their minting price. Ethereum people are used to paying a lot higher fees. It seems like,
Correct, correct.
but we've been doing a lot of really cool things lately. Like we did uh, um, one weekend we did a special for every 100 NFTs minted. We bought pancake squads for our treasury wallet. So those are some pretty high valued NFTs on the BNB chain. So we have 3 of them now in our wallet and a couple other NFTs from other projects that the whole community of NFT holders are basically owners of these NFTs. So they can decide later on if we want to sell them and distribute the money to everybody. So there's other ways they can earn too, just besides the marketplace.
Right. If you are talking about the NFTs, let's get a grasp on the utility behind. So you've mentioned that if I am a holder, I'm getting a cat from that marketplace. But like, what other features the NFTs are securing for the holders, right?
So the comic book, which has been my first thing that I wanted to do, and the main thing I wanted to do, we finally, I went through a few different comic book artists. It was hard to get one that was really good because I didn't want to release a subpar product. So we just finally finished illustrating the whole comic book, and we're going to be every Crypto Girlfriend NFT holder is going to be receiving a copy of the comic book. And I've also partnered with another project that has their own metaverse coming out and NFT AR marketplace. So we're talking about releasing the comic book through their AR marketplace as an AR version. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the augmented reality NFT, like how that works. But it's something you don't see a lot of, so it's something different, cutting edge that we're trying to do to make it unique. But yeah, everyone's going to get a copy of the comic book. And then also, I want to try to figure out, it's going to be a little hard logistically across the world, but I want to figure out how to do printed comic book copies too for everybody.
Right. And like, is there any threshold I need to be holding in my wallet in order to receive the comic book, or just one sole NFT is enough?
Yeah, one NFT will give you a copy of the comic book. And
Cool.
in addition, we're developing a game, a play to earn game. So the people that know me know that I love to bake cookies. And so we decided to create a cookie game where you go through the different rooms, collecting the different ingredients to bake the perfect cookie. And then you need the NFT to play the game. And so you can mint the cookie NFT collectibles. Now we're talking about creating our own token also. So a lot of stuff. The project is constantly evolving, like the crypto world. Everything's constantly evolving, so we have to evolve with it to keep the project relevant and moving forward.
Right. I mean, checking your roadmap, you're also referring to merch, right? And that's Q1. So, like, are we able to get some of the merch, right? Because if we are checking the graphics, like it looks spicy, it looks really good. So, are we able to get some of these yet?
Yeah, we started setting up the store. There was a little bit of delays, but there are some things. I've had requests for body pillows. So I had to get some full body NFTs created, because before they were just just the profile picture version. So I had some full body ones created, and I'll show you some of the stickers. I'm posting them in the chat right now, so you can kind of see what we're doing for the full body pillows. But yeah, we have other merchandise that's almost ready to go, and we'll be adding more as time goes on.
Right, right. you were mentioning the staking, right? And especially yield farming. So, are there any plans to use those NFTs in order to either yield farm or stake?
Since I love yield farming, it's my passion. Definitely have been working with a couple different partners to develop staking of NFTs to earn tokens through a yield farm, or to either stake to earn our own token or a partner token. So I have a couple different partners we're working with right now, and hopefully in the very near future we'll have one of those solidified with how we're going to do the NFT staking, because it is something that I really want to do. It wasn't something on the original plans, but I love, I kind of got into NFTs through staking an NFT that I bought on Bakery Swap. And it kind of made sense to me from going from a yield farming background to stake an NFT to earn their token bake. So it was a good segue for me to get involved in NFTs. Before that, it didn't really make sense to me. So I definitely want to go back to that, because I think it's a good way to get all the non-NFT people involved in the NFTs some more.
Right. Well, like, did we cover the utility part well before we'll move? Like, is there any other like utility plans to deliver in the near future, or we covered it well?
So I've partnered, like I was mentioning, with that
Uh-huh.
metaverse. It's called Sochi World, and they have a voxel metaverse launching soon, and they have a lot of their own play to earn games and their own NFT collections. So me and a few other projects have partnered with them to, if you're a holder of our Crypto Girlfriend NFTs, you'll be whitelisted to get their almost free NFTs for their project as well, which will then give you, they have their own token and they have their own staking. So if you have their NFTs, you'll get, all this free tokens and play the games and that kind of stuff. So by continuously partnering with all these other projects, it helps provide our NFTs more utility for our holders to get, free NFTs or to stake on multiple different sites, in
Right.
addition
So,
to, the comic book, playing our
uh-huh.
own game, play, the marketplace fees. So it's always something new coming out. And I just also, yes, I think it was yesterday, just yesterday, added to our Telegram channel the cake tipping bot, where you can actually earn the cake token in our Telegram channel just by chatting and being active. So there's a lot of things we're doing to make it fun and promote activity.
Right. Like, from what I understood, if I'm purchasing the NFT, I never really know like which one. So like, is this like a post reveal kind of mint, or like, what's the minting process behind?
So we had to write like a API to hide the metadata.
Mm-hmm.
So so people can't see it in advance, and so the people that have already minted can see what they have. And so the people, as soon as they mint, they'll be able to see what they have. But the ones that haven't been minted yet, because of that API we coded and wrote, you can't see the ones that haven't been minted. So there's still a lot of rare ones out there. I haven't even seen one with the Bitcoin glasses yet. So a lot of super
Right. So,
rare ones still available.
if you are mentioning, then there is a rarity system, right? Correct.
Mm-hmm.
All
Yeah, we
right.
did
Like,
about 175 different traits when we created the NFTs. And in our marketplace, we actually built in rarity service. So we used the model that Rarity Tools used on Ethereum for their site to build it into our marketplace. You can go on collectioncapital.com and see your rarity right then and there. We are also on Rareboard, which is one of the common ones on BNB chain. So you can also see the rarity on rareboard.com.
Right. So let's introduce the rarities. Like, what's the percentages? Like, what's the chance? And like, especially, what's the most anticipated rarity of the NFTs? Like, what we are expecting to have opened in order to be real happy.
The ones that are the most rare are the Bitcoin tattoos, and the Bitcoin glasses, some of the accessories, but mainly the tattoos and some of the glasses are our most rare accessories. And we're talking about doing the crypto boyfriends next. I know someone mentioned that in the chat too. So we have it. We designed a few for the website for the team on the boyfriends, but not very many. So we're open to suggestions on traits for the boyfriends if anyone has any suggestions.
I've got a kind of another spicy question. So like, if I will get the NFT girl with the Bitcoin glasses or such, like, are we able to trade these for a real life GF?
You know, we've been talking about like a crypto girlfriend dating service. Because wouldn't that be cool? Like if you could find someone that had the same interests as you in crypto. So you never know.
I think I would know a few interested pals from our farm, right? Like we got a King John, like looking for a GF around in our community. So like all good, all good. I think this feature would be used like frequently, right?
Yeah, I
Right.
wonder how that would be done. I've been working with one of the partners, Main Street, by mainstreet.com. They're a news aggregator, a tokenized news aggregator site. And we've actually been writing articles on our partner projects that are on our Collection Capital marketplace and posting them on their site. And we're looking at ways to integrate with their site more and evolve. So maybe even something with them. I know they're going to some NFT crypto conference at the end of this month in LA. It'd be kind of cool to have maybe a real life dating game at the booth or something.
Right. Let's talk now about events and like what events really are in the horizon in your project, and like what should we expect in the near future from the project, right? So like what are the events?
So the comic book is going to be out
Mm-hmm.
this month in July. So that's exciting because the story was written on my yield farming experience. So it's pretty cool because in the story I'm chilled this yield farm by some, scammer guy. like we all always get chilled, right? And I'm reluctant at first, and he's like, "Oh, just only put whatever you can afford to lose." So I end up getting into this yield farm and getting scammed by this yield farm, and I end up having to get sucked into the blockchain.
Yeah. All right. So this was for the comic book. Let's maybe we've talked a bit about the partnerships. you've mentioned the project that works on the VR kind of themed work, and I need to ask, like, are there any other partnerships or backers you've already established, or maybe you are currently looking for or actively trying to achieve, right? For example, it is quite popular on the BSC space, at least for the gamified projects, that most of the times, usually they are trying to partner with some sort of a marketplace. So, for example, that, right? What partnerships you are looking at now?
Definitely. I mean, we've been talking to some of the metaverse projects like Hot Swap City. I know they were looking for an in-game marketplace and potentially how we could partner there. And we're looking at Main Street, like I said, also to integrate maybe our marketplace on their site. So there's a lot of things we can do now that we have this tech built that was not cheap to build.
Right, correct.
But yeah, I think like Radio Kaka was a popular one on B&B, and originally they had their own marketplace that was a standalone, and then eventually once they had their Metamon game, they integrated their marketplace inside the game.
Hmm.
So there's a lot of different possibilities since we have this tech now, how we can integrate it with other projects. Maybe they don't have the time or the money to build a whole marketplace, for instance. Um, so they can we are willing to talk to other game projects, metaverse projects, about integrating our marketplace inside of their project in a way. So there's a lot of things that can be done. And like I mentioned before, the staking of the NFTs, there's a few different projects that are doing that now, or are looking to do that. So it's all about partnering and partnerships. You got to
Hmm.
keep the partnerships fresh.
Right. And like, if I'm, for example, browsing through the collection capital, I can see the head swap in here. So, we had the head swap on the call up. Also, they've done really well, really interesting project. So, let's talk maybe if I were project owner, how can I get listed on the marketplace of yours?
So there is a link on the website at the bottom that says contact us to partner, or you can just kind of send us a message on
Mm-hmm.
our Telegram, Twitter, um, Discord. Basically, the process is fill out our intake form, and obviously the collection has to have an actual contract so we can set it up. sometimes the
Right.
sometimes the collections are contacting us before they're launched, which is fine, before they even have the contract. But we do need a few pieces of artwork, and the collection has to be active before we can make it active on the website. And then, like I mentioned, we're
Mm-hmm.
doing some extra marketing right now for our partners, where we're featuring one each week, and we're doing extra tweets, writing a whole nice article on them, which we're publishing on Main Street news site. And so
Right.
we're trying to
I
do a
mean,
little bit extra.
what's been the most successful project on the marketplace so far? Like, we can see quite a handful of them listed. So, like, what's the like best project out there, at least in the performance?
um, I think Retro Boys has been really good. Sweet Stacks has been really
Mm-hmm.
well. They're on their next collection. Um, so some of these have been around for a little while. Some are newer projects, and we have a lot more to add too. There's been a lot of people that have applied lately, so we have a lot more projects to add. Hat Swap, definitely one of the OGs, has been around the NFT space and B&B from the beginning, and now they have their next collection of clothing. So I just want to be able to wear my clothes in the metaverse, because right now I've been walking around as a naked man in the metaverse. And
Well.
I said, can we integrate a girlfriend? That would be cool. So there's women in the metaverse.
Correct, correct. Um, let's maybe talk about the security, right? Are your NFTs verified or somehow vetted with some, let's say, platforms like the Tofu are verifying the NFTs, right? So let's touch a bit of that.
We did originally go on Tofu NFT, and we
Hmm.
also went on Element Market. We're the first two marketplaces that we joined before our marketplace was ready. And so we are verified on both of those marketplaces. So you can see our NFTs on those, you can trade them on those. We just try to encourage everybody to use our own marketplace because then we get the fees back to the holders.
Right. Um, I mean, if we are talking about the developers behind both the Crypto Girlfriend and also the marketplace, like how confident you are with those, right? Like most of the times, although you mentioned the token, so if you are planning to do the staking token, well, a lot of security threats are there. Are you sure that the dev team is secure and like do you know them in real life and like what's been the relation so far?
So my lead developer, Daniel, he goes by Tom on Telegram. He has he was working with one of my close friends for a long time, launching a lot of different projects with him. So that's how I found him originally. But he's worked on some of the pretty high end projects on BNB chain, like Venus lending platform, and those are pretty have millions and millions and millions of dollars invested in them. So him and his team have a lot of hardcore experience. And I know once you get out of the standard NFT realms to tokens, and even if we do any yield farming with that, since I actually used to do a lot of AMAs, interviewing a lot of the projects, those type of projects, we always used to talk about audits and security audits. So we definitely would have to go through that whole extra layer of security and get everything audited, so everybody feels safe and secure, because that's a whole nother level when it comes to that
Right.
over the standard NFT contracts. And so definitely extra steps and extra costs that are involved if you go that route. Um, and we'll do that once we get to that point.
Great. And that's especially important for the community, right? Because most of the times these top-down processes are neglected. So let's try to get touch on that. Like, how do you approach the community? Maybe about the updates. How are you interacting? If there is some community manager, and you've been around for some time, so you had the time to develop the community. So, what is your approach?
We're definitely, since we're BSC, and I think most BNB projects would agree, are more heavily on Telegram than some of the other platforms. So we're using our Telegram channel more and Twitter more for communications than maybe Discord, or Discord isn't as active because everybody on BSC seems to be on Telegram. Definitely have gone through a couple different community managers, have come and gone, and it's definitely hard to find the right people, and have had some advisors along the way. Have some pretty good people helping out right now in the community between Dreamer and David. They're doing really good to hype it up. And I think with the bear market, everything's kind of dead the lately.
Yeah.
So we're always drumming up new ways to make it more active. And I think with the even just I've seen since we added the cake tipping bot since yesterday, there's been more people chatting to try to earn that free cake token. And so it's always looking at ways to bring in new people. We're always looking for help too. So if anybody is interested in helping out, um, definitely hit me up. I'm always
Right.
looking for more
Well,
help in the
we,
community.
I mean, we touch the bear market and the community. So, if I was new in our community, like, are there any ways to get some sort of a freebies, or are there any giveaways to get some free NFTs of yours?
Oh my God, I've been giving away stuff on Twitter and BSC from the beginning. I mean, I give. I'm always giving away stuff. The
Let's
cake
go.
now.
Sharing is caring.
I know I'm never going to be super rich because I give away all my money, but but I'm always giveaway. We're always doing giveaways on Twitter. We're always doing giveaways. Sometimes we're doing giveaways only for the Telegram members too. I like to reward them extra for being in there and chatting and participating. I've done art contests. We've done meme contests. We do videos, and I have my YouTube channel too, which I kind of got away from in my moving. I just moved across country, so I'm going to be getting back to my YouTube videos again. But I've always had opportunities where I say, "Oh, go and do a comment on the video to enter, for instance, and watch the video to get more engagement." But the videos are so important because that educates people, and that's how people learn about projects, learn about DeFi, learn about NFTs. So it's something I want to continue to do because people really like them. And a lot of people in my community have made a lot of money over the last couple years, just watching my videos and learning about a potential project that they didn't know about before.
Great. Um, Before we'll move toward the last part, and that's especially important, I must add on that, guys, keep your questions. And today we are making a bit of a change, and the winner for the prizes, both for the mystery card and also for the BUSD part. The BUSD part gonna be picked by our guest, and the mystery by me towards the best question. So be sure to really dig into the materials, get on some really cool idea about the question, so we can have some fun with the community questions. Well, this is the last kind of sort of theme I want to touch, and that's a product and revenue model. So we've been talking about the bear market. The space is very choppy lately, and we need to deal both with the competition, markets as well. It's been tough for businesses. The living costs are over the roof, right? So people are kind of struggling in these investing and the scheme of the crypto space, especially. Well, let's talk about the revenue model behind the CryptoGirlfriend NFTs project. And if I'm a holder of the NFT, what brings the value out to me? So that means, like, if I'm a holder, what secures me the revenue out, right? We touch a bit of the plans for the yield farming, but like, what other utilities secure this part?
Are you talking about the how to earn with them with the NFTs?
Yeah, sure.
Um,
Simply, if I'm a holder, like, what brings me the value?
um, yeah, I mean, so like I mentioned, as we continue to add more partner projects to the
Mm-hmm.
marketplace, it's going to increase the overall volume of the marketplace. And as we continue to market the marketplace and partner with some of these other projects that we might be
Mm-hmm.
integrating our marketplace into, which will also increase the volume, that's going to just increase the rewards from the fees. So that's going to be something that's right away. And we're going to continue doing minting, contests and things like that, where, like I mentioned, we have 3 Pancake Squad NFTs in our treasury vault. So that's another thing that we can do a vote at some point and see if we want to sell one and distribute the rewards to all the holders. And I just added a few other NFTs to the vault, and we're constantly partnering with other projects too, to where we're giving away NFTs to our holders as well. I'm going to get back into doing my DJing, like I mentioned, and giving away the NFTs while I'm doing that as well. So there's a lot of benefits for the holders to earn money, not even just with our NFTs, because a lot of times other projects will donate their NFTs to us to distribute in the giveaways as well. And so lots of different
Mm-hmm.
ways. And then once our cookie game is developed as well, we'll be able to play that to earn collectibles too. So lots of different ways to earn besides, selling selling the rare ones that you might mint.
Um, I mean, if we touched the fees on the marketplace, like how the percentage of the cut is determined, like by the percentage of the total holding in my wallets, or like how do you specify how much I am getting from those royalties?
So we have a 2% fee on the marketplace right now, and that's for all the collections on the marketplace. And so when out of that 2% fee, 30% of those fees are distributed to all the holders. So the more you hold, the more of that portion you'll get.
Mm-hmm.
And that we can adjust that as we need to, up or down. Right now, the main goal is to get more projects and get more volume so people can earn more fees. That's the main goal right now.
Right, great. We touched the game also a bit. Could you describe it a bit into the details? We kind of forget this part, but it seems like there is part of the earn and also the use case for the NFTs. So could you just briefly introduce the whole idea and maybe also like when you're expecting the game to be launched?
Well, the game we've been I don't really want to launch the game until we're done minting, because
Mm-hmm.
part of that is covering the cost of developing the game. Development work is not cheap, of course. Uh,
Correct.
so hopefully, the faster we mint out and the faster we get to the game. But in the meantime, we're working on those staking partners, which I think could be done and ready to go within 1 to 2 months max with those. Developing a whole new staking and yield farming. So first it's going to be the comic book's going to come out, and then the marketplace is already out. And then the merchandise, we're going to be launching that anytime now. And then the game will be coming hopefully soon. Let's get some more mints going so we can release the game. But in the meantime, we're working on those partnerships, and you can get some free NFTs with some of our partners at Soshi World, and Samuki is their first NFT that's free right now that we're partnered with.
Right. Great. That was a great intro to the game. I mean, looking really intriguing. Um, this will be the last question from me before we will move toward the community questions. And it is my favorite one. Why? Because you need to think a bit about. So let's start with this really solid one. Uh, think about how to sell me the CryptoGirlfriend project and why should I be a holder. So what makes your product unique?
I was muted. Sorry.
All good, all good.
Well, I don't really see a lot of people making a whole comic book and a whole marketplace and a game. It's kind of like we've developed a lot already, and you don't really see like this much utility in a project. Usually it's just like some artwork or maybe some basic staking. Um, and if people like the comic book, we're going to make more series of comic books, and then the OG holders will continuously get the new comic books as they come out. Um, so if you're really into comic books, you really like that kind of stuff, at least grab one of the NFTs so you can get that access to those free comic books. So that'll be fun. Plus, you get to play to earn and stake to earn and earn free tokens along the way, and lots of fun ways to earn with the passive income with the marketplace too.
Great. Thank you. This was like really, really great and fun way to have this whole block of themes done. Now it is time for the community questions. So guys, if you got any kind of a question, make sure to raise your hands so you will get the chance to ask, and the winner will be the one who will pick the guest, and he will earn 25 BUSD worth. And the second best question are gonna earn the mystery card, and this gonna be picked by me. So I've seen Fei raising the hand at first. So Fei, I am unmuting you, so be ready to ask. Hello, can you hear us and can you talk?
Are you hear me?
Hello, yes, we can hear you.
So I ask my question right now.
Yeah, you are able to ask.
Yes. Do you have any plan to attract no crypto investor to join your project? Because we are now set up a project attract more investors who haven't yet entered the crypto world. What are plan to write awareness about your project in the non-crypto space?
All right, so you are basically asking about the plans to have some sort of a overlap towards the real world, right? To attract the non crypto investors into the project, if I understood well.
So if that's the question,
I guess so.
That's kind of what I was going for with the whole printed copy of the comic book, because I wanted to somehow cross over physical and from digital. And so that is why I want to figure out the logistics on how to, and not everybody's going to want to give their actual address. I know how people are in crypto, type of thing. So, but the ones that want to collect it, once we figure out the logistics, how to ship those worldwide, that's going to be something that we can offer, that makes it a physical copy of the comic book. So it's a real tangible product besides, the merchandise too, that you can order online as well. And those are some of the first ideas we had with how to integrate into real life items, the digital comic book, and then you get the physical comic book later on, once we figure out how to do the shipping across the world.
Great, thank you. Was that a good answer too, Fei?
Reason. Thank you, man.
All right, thank you as well. Well, let's move to another question. And I see Spazitron raising his hand. So Spazitron, ooh, you just disappeared, and I was really looking forward the Spazitron. He's there. Like, no, okay, allow him to speak now. Hello, Spazitron. Hi.
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Yes, we can.
Awesome. Now, as far as the comic book goes, is that something that you're going to have to purchase with cryptocurrency or by holding the NFT? Or is that something that you're going to be able to outreach to maybe non-crypto people by just having it in the Amazon store or something like that?
Yeah, I think if it takes off, that would be cool if we could also release it later on as merchandise. I need to find a way to distribute that, through regular merchandise. And so if anyone has any ideas, I'm definitely open for it. But right now, just by holding the NFT, you'll get the digital copy, step one. So that one's going to be coming out this month. But yeah, it's a really good good story. One of my friends is a creative writer, so Andrew, he helped write the story, and he knows me, so it was easy to kind of write what I would say, and then he had me fill in some blanks.
Right.
I was just thinking if you could corner that comic book market and maybe have a little insert where you can scan something, like if you buy the physical media, and then you get like going
The
the opposite
NFT.
direction. Yeah,
Yeah,
you get the
well,
NFT.
that's interesting because there's a project on BSC called Sriracha Inu, and they are about to release their hot sauce, their sriracha hot sauce. And they actually just sent me a bottle in the mail. So I'm going to do a little video and show everybody. But they have the same type of idea where you scan the bottle of sriracha sauce and then you get a free NFT with it. So that would be really cool. That's a good idea.
Last thing, thank you so much for letting me ask the question. Elle, can you pin her Twitter and her YouTube channel in the main thing? I couldn't
Yeah,
find it.
sure.
Thank you.
I was just a bit of a laughing on that sriracha hot sauce, right? Because
Yeah.
we had a convo recently about that with a positron, so kinda laughable. All good, great guys. So these are all the links for the Crypto Girlfriend project,
Yeah, and
and
I tried to post the link to a demo of the game we're developing, but it wasn't letting me post the link. So
yeah, right.
I sent
I've
you a
seen that
message.
already posted, right? Because that's kind of the security for the community, because sometimes people are sending links and I need to approve first to be sure that nobody's getting hurt over those scams sometimes, right?
Yeah, so you can look at the link that CVL posted of the cookie game, the demo that we.
Yeah, right. So I'm forwarding them to main chat. Yeah, I think you should be able to see now both links and under the demo. So guys, be sure to check.
Awesome.
I think if if that was all from Positron, we could move toward another question. We'll see like how much question we are getting today, because we've made the change that in order to be able to participate for these kind of giveaways, you need to drop a word on a VC, because sometimes it's ended like a whole mess of nonsense messages which we don't like. So don't be shy, guys. We are not biting, but just be sure to drop your word on a VC, just to be sure you are not botting us. All good. Well, God
Yeah, and
beloved.
there's a conference coming up at the end of this month in LA at the LA Convention Center. If anybody is in the States, and the Main Street booth is going to be there, and they're going to be giving away some of our NFTs. It's called NFT Expoverse. So we're donating some NFTs for them to give away at their booth, Main Street booth, if anybody's there for more real life stuff.
Right. Awesome. Let's get the last question out from the God beloved. So God beloved, I'm unmuting you, and feel free to speak and ask a question. Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Hello.
Oh, okay, good. I just want to ask, Crypto Girlfriend, why did you choose BSC as the chain? I mean, as your blockchain. You know, most NFT projects don't strive much on BSC. You know, Solana, the hype on NFT is mainly on Solana and Avalanche right now. So why did you choose BSC in the first place?
Good question. And I kind of talked a little bit about it earlier on, but I did start on Ethereum primarily. And then once I found BSC back in December of 2020 and started doing yield farming, and transactions were cents, it was like I was never going to go back and do yield farming on Ethereum ever again. And so I started being one of the primary promoters of BNB yield farming projects and meme tokens and different tokens on BSC back then, doing my videos and tweets and all of that, and teaching people about the different BSC projects. And, you know, so much so that CZ noticed and started following me on Twitter, and he's definitely interacted with me a few times on Twitter as well. So it was kind of like we were going to launch on Ethereum when we did the NFT, because everyone does NFTs on Ethereum and it's a bigger marketplace. And I knew it was going to be a lot harder on BSC and BNB, but it was just, I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. My heart was with BSC and BNB, and it was my home. And so I was like, oh, no, it's going to be harder. Let's just build it and hopefully they will come. So we've just been building and building, built a marketplace, building a game, just constantly keep building. And I think the metaverse and GameFi and all of that is going to really take off on BSC. So I think we're still very early. We're very, very early. BNB will have its time with NFTs.
Great. Thank you for the answer, and God bless. Was that a cool one, or is there anything to add on?
No, none.
All right,
Thank you.
So guys, last chance to raise your hand in order to have your question out. If you want to ask, do it now, or we're gonna end the session and just simply move toward the ends of this amazing AMA. So guys, yeah, I can see no more raising hands. Therefore, let me just once again thank the CryptoGirlfriend NFTs project for joining us today. I think it was quite exciting AMA. I know, like, you may be a bit of a tired because there was a ton of AMAs around, you know, Jesus, Groza Lounge, and also in a jam pad. So I am very thankful you've made your time and joined us today. Yeah, so this is everything from me. I want to thank you guys once again. I will end the official recording, and we are going to announce the winners of the first part just beforehand. So yeah, have a great Friday, everyone. And let's thank you for joining again. And
thank you for having me. It's been amazing. You're awesome.
Yes, and once again, be sure to follow all of the Crypto Girls socials and hit up that Telegram. I've been a part of a while, and I can see that we can see a lot of familiar faces from the heads up around there. So quite exciting community as well. So guys, have a great Friday. Enjoy the weekend and stay tuned. Goodbye. Friday. Enjoy the